Hey up me loves, I'm Nat and welcome back to my channel, Nat at North. Renegades, hello, happy new year to you all. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for helping me to get 1,000 subscribers at the end of 2025. I have just been so elated with happiness and in shock because I just really wasn't anticipating this, and it's all thanks to you. So I really appreciate all your support throughout my journey. As I discover the Reniverse, and we do that together. So today we are going to do a bit of a lighter reaction because my previous reaction was The Tale of Jenny and Screech, and to be quite honest with you, I'm still recovering and trying to get over that one. So please do stick around. We'll be talking about The Tale of Jenny and Screech, and I'll be highlighting some of your comments, and we'll kind of be getting into it a little bit more in Nat's chats, which will be featured at the end of this first reaction. Thank you so much for all of your recommendations. I have chosen this one because it was a very popular one, and I really just needed something a little bit more lighter and hopefully energetic to start the new year. And yeah, so today we are going to be doing a first reaction together to Ren's blended version of Message in a Bottle by The Police and Back on 74 by Jungle. Now, obviously I do know that song by The Police, but when I was kind of looking at this, title, it didn't really ring a bell, the Back on 74. So I've actually just done right now a first music video reaction to Jungle's Back on 74. And I've never seen the video, and the song, again, I just was not familiar with. So I will be posting that at a later date, but I didn't want to post it first because I do like my reactions each week to be a little bit of a surprise for you guys. You know what I'm doing until the Renegade Tuesday, and I thought this would be a little bit of a giveaway. So at some point, if you're interested in that reaction, then I will link it, and just look out for it, basically. Stay tuned. So Ren's version of these songs came out around February the 29th of 2024, and they are a blended kind of his take on two songs, one being Message in a Bottle by The Police. That was released around 1979, and that was kind of during their rise to fame, and then by 1990 The Police were actually internationally known. And then the second song is Back on 74 by a kind of soul funk British modern duo. They're actually childhood friends, and that was released in 2023. So there isn't a direct quote or really explanation from Ren online that I could find about why he specifically chose these two songs, but the Renegades' kind of favourite theory, if you will, is they both deal with nostalgia, emotional searching, and connection. Back on 74 evokes this feeling, it's like a longing for a past place, or feeling of home, which I totally could relate to, especially when I just did the first reaction to that song, because obviously I am a British expat and I live the other side of the world, so I have an appreciation for any songs that explore those themes. And then Message in a Bottle is about feeling alone and kind of hoping that somebody relates to that type of isolation. So my theory is Ren is kind of creating a musical conversation between the two themes. I think that makes the most sense with this. So without any further ado, fingers crossed, people, fingers crossed that this is a light version and it's not a dark one, knowing Ren, but I do trust your recommendations. So I'll take a deep breath, and without any further ado, let's get into this song. Oh, it's like my girl. Oh, wow.
Keep it rocking on the same thing.
Oh,
We get high on the breakdown. We were watching from the same time. But that don't change what I think now. We were talking about the same crime, but we don't hide when it rains now. I learned my lesson at the same time. I did it.
well, this is the first time that I've seen Ren in, I wouldn't call it a suit, but it's a little bit more of a formal attire, and I am here for it, yes. Loved the clapping in the beginning. It reminded me a lot of like My Girl or something like that. I don't know. Definitely the 70s. Wow, what an interesting way to start the song with clapping. And oh my God, just his, I don't even know what you call it, guys. Like I don't know a lot about music, but the fact it's just got a very, very high falsetto. And is it a falsetto? He's just singing really high. It's just so sensual, and I'm here for it. I'm just loving this so far. I'm getting a bit hot and bothered, to be honest with you. And I feel like I just like stink of rum right now, and whiskey and cigarettes. I feel like I'm in some kind of jazz bar in the 70s. I was just trying to look at a lot of the, obviously there's art just in pure abundance all over the walls. I'm loving the deep red colours, and just like the lighting is just so resemblant of that time period as well. I'm trying to kind of pick up on some of the artwork. I'll have to get more into the video, but yeah, so far I am just feeling a little bit hot and bothered with this. So it's very tender. It's starting out very tenderly, and I'm very much appreciating that. So we'll see where the song goes.
Go back on 74. Call this place my home. Never gonna cry anymore.
Oh.
Where did it all go? Ooh,
I'm here with it.
keep it rocking, doing the same thing. We get high on the breakdown. We were watching from the same time, but that don't change what I think now.
Ooh.
We were talking about the same ground, but we don't hop when it rains down. I learned my lesson at the same time. Ooh, where did it go?
Wow, like the change of tone there. I need to take a look at the lyrics. I'm roasting right now, guys. I'm roasting. Okay, let's just calm down. I need to calm down. Take this very seriously. It's very, very important that I do my research right now. When we get high on my breakdown. I'm just really not that clever. I'm just really carried away with watching Ren right now and listening to his absolutely amazing magical voice. That is taking me places, let's just say that. But I'm not really paying attention, honestly, to like where it went low and where it went back up high and in between. And yeah, sorry for a terrible reaction, but yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit taken away with Ren's music here and his talent. So I have nothing more to add. Let's get back into the song. Oh, yes!
Never gonna cry anymore. Where did it let it go? Let it go.
Oh, I love that.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Ooh, vibrato, man. Go, Ren. We have the clapping again. Where's it gone? I was back.
Let's take them back to 74, inherently poor, myself on the
Breakdown.
talk is secondary, first my specialty, naughty bars on a
Take down.
rap like nicotine, sound so addicting, click, click, zibble, flip, caddy, daddy, hit the green, soak up dopamine, I mean dope scheme, take more head than the blade of a guillotine.
Ooh.
Filipina, you should have seen her.
Okay.
She likes girls, but I turn Tina. Angelina, wanna raid her tomb. Ocarina, with the Zelda moves, sound so smooth, wax strip groove, don't stay still, wanna make that move. Thought for food, colour scheme nude, massive like jungle, shy but rude, and the world is
Ooh.
yours, that's a Nas.
We're feeling rude. So my cats, apparently, sorry if you hear them in the background. I think they're getting a bit wild with this song. Take more head than a blade off a guillotine? Well, I don't know what a guillotine is, but like, if Ren's singing anything about head, I'm all here for it, so let's go. I wasn't expecting him to do a rap here. I don't know why, because obviously Ren is fantastic at doing raps. It's something that he's known for. But I just feel as though in this song already, we've explored so many different tones. He's done the singing, he's done a little bit of spoken word, and now we've got the rap. It literally is a collaboration of everything. But one of my favourite lyrics, I must say, in that rap piece is, first my specialty, naughty bars on a same town. I'd quite like to go to some naughty bars with Ren, I'm just saying.
Massive like jungle, shy but rude. And the world is yours, that's a Nas shout out with an awkward pause. Cause the world is flawed when the power makes money and the money makes wars. And the world is more than a place in space on a spinning ball. And for now that's all, back to 1974. Back on 74. Call this place my home. Never gonna cry anymore. Where did it all go? Ooh, ooh,
Oh, here we go. I need to stop it there. Okay, we have a little bit of a change there. It's a perfect opportunity for me to stop because I'm just so terrible at stopping at the worst places in these videos. I'm getting a bit jealous of all these girls what I'm singing about. I'm not even gonna lie, people. So yeah. So I've just figured something out. So I do believe that the original version of the song Back on 74 Jungle was talking about, honestly, I just thought, and I could be wrong with my theory, that it was about like 74 being like the number of the street where they met. Whereas this one is just taking us back to the era that is 1974. My favourite lyrics in this is, when the power makes money and the money makes wars. We're discussing some very serious issues right now, aren't we? Yeah, I love the fact that it brings up some of these social issues, and the world is more than a place in the space on a spinning ball. And now that's all back to 1974. I just love that kind of collection of lyrics there. So yeah, we're back. We're just like we're going back in time. Is 1974 perhaps in this song a little bit of escape from current world issues? I mean, it released in 2024, so that wasn't too far away. So maybe it's just an escape back to, you know, that era where things perhaps were, just to a certain extent, a little bit more, like a little bit less complicated. You know, and I think as well with social media and just with the way that the world's like turned, literally, you know, it was all about connection back then, wasn't it? Which is it seems to be a huge theme within these two songs. It was all about the social. It was all about helping neighbours out and really having this community and just feeling very, very, a sense of belonging, really. So yeah, I'm escaping back to 1974 with Ren for sure. Beautiful. Yes, 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 yes.
Just a lonely day.
Oh!
Lost at sea. Another cast away. Nobody here but me.
And me.
More loneliness than any man could bear.
Oh.
Rescue me before
Oh.
I fall into
Wow.
despair. Sending out an SOS.
Let it go.
Sending out an SOS. Sending out
We're blending both songs there.
Sending out an SOS. Message in the bottle, yeah. Message in the bottle, yeah.
Oh. I'm so disappointed that, like, I love the way that he did that with both songs, and it seems as though that last piece was kind of, it was blending the Sending Out an SOS and Let It Go. yeah, I find that actually really interesting choice as to why he's used the only time that he spoke sending out the SOS was at the end of the song. And again, coming back to my previous point, maybe it is because we need to save our souls right now in the current state of the climate and the world. And maybe it is that trying to escape back to those times, to the 70s, where things just seemed a little bit more simpler. And, in a way, kind of less corrupt, because it's just getting worse and worse. I must say that this is the first song that I know that, Rennie's multi-talented and he has an amazing voice and, it is just super creative with everything it does. But his tone of his voice at points just took me away to a different place. I actually felt as though I was frigging on the island lost at sea. It just took me away there with the different tones and inflections on the way that he sang those parts. And his voice was very beautiful. Almost at points I felt like it was honestly like quite angelic. It was. I just found that it was just a beautiful piece, and what a great way to blend, both of those songs with the message of connection and home. Well, he's done it again. Blown away, and yeah, I can't believe how much. Like, Ren could literally put a bin bag on and look amazing. I also really appreciated you guys recommending a song where I can actually come away. I do feel energized. I also feel very relaxed listening to this song. And I just feel very, very hopeful for the future. Yeah, I'm just sorry, I can't get like Ren's voice when he sings high, out of my head. It's just really, that's it, that's what I was looking for. So Ren's voice is very soothing in this piece. Break time is mentioned in the original song by Jungle, but he says breakdown. So you have a little bit of the playing with the dark, but I just didn't feel as though, some of the themes here was talking about some darkness with the world and the things that are going on globally. But for the most part, I just felt very reassured and very comforted and just soothed by his voice. I mean, it was just magical. So thank you so much, Ren, for putting a smile on my face and making me actually leave feeling relaxed and hopeful for the future. So what did you guys think when you first listened to this song? What was your reaction? And also, has anybody got any intel on the art pieces that was featured just all over the walls? I couldn't quite make them out. I would need to go back a second, third, fourth time to have a look. But if you have, obviously Ren, we know this. He does everything in his videos for a reason. And I really liked the aspect of the clapping. I found that it was just really, really impactful and kind of made me stop and think, but also took me back to that era as well. Wow. Thank you so much for watching with me. Put all of your thoughts and comments in the comment section. I will look forward to reading those later. And I will be back next Tuesday for another Renegade reaction with you guys. Stick around for Nat's Chats. This is going to be a really, really good one. It's going to be heavy because we're going to be talking about my previous reaction, the tales of Jenny and Screech. And in the meantime, guys, take care and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra for now. Welcome, Renegades, to my new segment, Nat's Chats. Today we're going to be discussing my previous first reaction video, which was to the tragic tale of Jenny and Screech. I've received some amazing comments about this, and also thank you so much for sharing some of your personal stories when it comes to some of these themes that we've explored, in this musical masterpiece. It really did take me by surprise, and I'll be honest with you guys, most of the reactions that I've done so far, and there's only been a handful, I have actually gone back straight after the first reaction and at least listened to the audio of the song, maybe not perhaps the full music video, but with this one, it really just struck me. I was quite upset, I was quite angry at just some of the themes that were explored, and I do realise that they are everyday issues in society. And it's horrible things that people have had experience with or that are dealing with in real life and in real time. So I kind of feel bad saying that it was difficult for me to listen and watch. But I'm just giving you my perspective. It actually took me quite a few days to be able to process what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And then I actually only recently went back to the song to look at the music video again and kind of do a bit more of an analysis and see if I could pick up on any other clues or, just any other Easter eggs, things that Ren had done. Because it was just so hard to do that when I was, evoked with these different kinds of emotions and watching it for the first time. So without any further ado, let's get into the first amazing comment. Paul Russell-M1R says, one point I loved in Jenny's tale was his eye contact. When he sings from Jenny's point of view, he never makes eye contact with the camera. And when he sings from Screech's point of view, he looks straight into the camera. A great display of avoidance or submission versus aggression. And yes, I'm so pleased that you brought this up. It was something I didn't really pick up on until watching the video a few more times. But yeah, 100%. I find that a very, very interesting artistic choice. And I think that your explanation makes perfect sense. I also really appreciated the fact that you had the three different tales, but it was almost like Ren. And again, I didn't pick up on this the first time. The first time that I actually saw this, I was quite upset and angry because we know Ren is an absolute talented artist. And one of those issues that I found with these particular tales is he is so realistic when he delivers the lines. There were points, especially in Violet's tale, where I felt, to be quite honest with you, especially when he was folding the eyelids up, I just wanted to punch Ren in the face, which, I mean, I love Ren. I am a total, falling in love every day more and more with his work and his creativity and the way that he brings these really important topics and issues to the forefront and making people feel seen and heard. I have so much respect for that, but yes, there were definitely moments, that was one of them. And then the other moment that I really struggled with was in Violet's tale when Violet was on the floor and he was beating his chest a little bit like a gorilla and going in on her when she was being silent. And just the fact that he was so aggressive. At times, I really was upset with Ren because he really embodied these characters so realistically and so well. And I kind of like this. It was when I went back to watch the video again a few more times, and that was a fair few days later, I realised that there is a narrator piece to each tale, which I feel as though it kind of reminded me that, okay, Ren's just telling a story. He is the narrator. Because he really was so good at playing these particular characters because that's who he is and that's part of his artistry. Another thing that I found was a very interesting choice too was it is the actual tales do take place in London City, and I wondered why he actually chose Brighton. Obviously we know that it's his chosen home, and my kind of theory on that is because it is such a heinous, brutal and tragic tale, maybe for some people like me, if it was set actually in London City, it may have just been like even more realistic with the surroundings. But the fact that he chose his hometown takes him slightly away from that. And also the incorporation that I absolutely loved of the artwork, especially in Jenny's tale. For me, looking at this and feeling so uncomfortable, it kind of reminded me that he is just the artist and the narrator, and he is unfortunately telling a really brutal tale. So I really appreciated that choice as the listener and watching the video. Thank you so much for that comment, Paul Russell. It really did put that into perspective for me, and it really helped me to watch the video over and over again when I felt brave enough to do so. So thank you so much. I just wanted to pull an image up now because we're on this kind of, the first tale, which is Jenny's tale. And again, it was just something that struck me as a very, very creative choice. When he says, Screech reached for the sheath of the blade with the teeth that could bite through steel and slice concrete. And he swung possessed with the devil at his chest. He's, the devil's kind of mentioned and introduced at that point in this specific tale. The art to one side of Ren, it kind of goes a bit dark. So I'm actually going to pull up a little picture now, and I just found this, I don't know, just very resemblant of the dark side. And it kind of like goes to a quick shot of a girl on a swing. So I just found the contrast of the girl on the swing, and then it almost looks like some kind of demon face. It's all over the place. You'll see it on the screen now. I just found that was really impactful to me when I watched it a few more times, and it did stand out to me specifically with those lyrics. Okay, so we'll move on to the next comment. This is from Cliff4XS7145. Violet's Tale was released in 2019, and Jenny and Screech were born in 2005, which made them both 14 years old. Yeah, I had no idea about this, so thank you for that insight. if you think about Jenny's tale, she walked these streets 1,000 times. She had rosy cheeks and high heels at 14. I think she may have been a lady of the night. And this was a very, very popular renegade theory. I feel as though this is the first time that I've actually done a reaction, and there are some things that, can be up for debate in some of his lyrics, and sometimes it is just about the interpretation. But I feel as though there are still a lot of questions with these specific three tales. And some of you have reached out to me and given me, links to Instagram stories, so I can learn a little bit more about each character. But I don't want to do that just yet, because at some point very soon I will be doing a first reaction of Vincent's tale to kind of, tie all of that up, because word on the street is that Richard's tale is going to be released very, very soon. So I don't know. I will do that very, very swiftly. I'll likely pre-record that just in case Richard's tale comes out, so that I've got everything, all the context in order before I do a first reaction to that, which will be very swift. So I'm just trying to think back to when I was 14, bearing in mind I grew up in the streets of Doncaster. And I think a lot of people have gone to that just because she was trying to escape something. Obviously, the lyric of and the line of she'd walked these streets 1,000 times. Why would she be out at 14? Especially, it seems like it was quite late in the evening or the night. But to be quite honest with you guys, I was a bit of a rebel when I was a teen, and it wasn't unusual for me to wear high heels. So does that debunk that theory, or are we just gonna sit here and question Nat's life choices? I don't know. Is it unusual for a 14-year-old to be, I don't know, out that late at night, underage drinking, wearing heels in Doncaster? I'm not entirely sure. You be the judge. But I'm hoping at some point we'll be able to figure out this Jenny's tale and why she was there and what she was escaping from. I also find it very interesting that when she has been, unalived by this Screech character, the lyric goes, I guess that she escaped, it's such a shame. So whatever she was running from, it's unfortunate that in her death, that's when she escaped. So she was obviously going through something that night. And I just still have so many questions about this. So thank you so much for this insight and that theory as well. It is a very popular one. I'm on the fence. I don't really know. I don't really know, guys. Only Ren knows this, so hopefully one day we'll be able to find out. Okay, one of my, and I'm going to say this wrong, so I'm so sorry, do not come for me. I am not Shakespeare, and I'm certainly not Ren, but one of my main words that I absolutely have added to my vocabulary this past week is stalactite. I absolutely loved that. I had no idea what it meant, and I reached out to you renegades, and this was a fantastic explanation. So sorry if I say your name wrong. I absolutely love the name, by the way. Very, very original. At Leluki, stalactites. I can't even say it. I'm so sorry. I'm very embarrassed right now. So stalactites are mineral growths usually found in caves. They occur from the steady disposition of minerals over time as the water level leaves behind minerals that build up. They look like canine teeth or spears. Ooh, very, very kind of spooky looking. Not to be confused with stalagmites, which grow upwards in a similar shape from the floors of caves. Stalactites, stalagmites. C is for ceiling, G is for ground. At least I got that bit, so that's really good. An easy mnemonic to remember which is which. Thank you so much for that. This is easy to remember now. I just still need to try and pronounce this. Wonderful new word that I've added to my vocabulary. So it just makes me wonder why, and I think there has been a little bit backwards and forwards in the comments. I've noticed that he actually meant the stalagmites, and in my lyrics that I printed off, because obviously I'm such a rookie, I still need my lyrics, it does actually say stalagmites, but when he sings it, it says stalactites. So I really don't feel as though Ren would make a mistake like that. Everything that he does is intentional, it's well thought out. So I just find that really, really intriguing as to why he's chosen the one that goes from the ceiling to the ground rather than the ground to the ceiling when it comes to the particular character of Jenny. And I wonder what your comments and thoughts are on that as to what the metaphor represents. I'm still trying to kind of think about this one. But all I can say is because she was so frozen in fear when her eyes met Screech and she felt his presence, it was like she just came to a stop so slowly and then just became this statue and was just in complete. She was terrified of him. Yeah, so very unfortunate, very, very sad. But another thing that I wanted to mention when we're talking particularly about that scene of the two meeting is I find it really puzzling as to why he says, "Don't fucking look at me, I mean it, bitch. Are you listening to me?" The fact that she is looking at him provokes this anger, this outburst, this reactivity. It seems as though she is silent, unfortunately, like her mother Violet. And, a lot of renegades have said as well that they're very similar, as in Stevie and Screech, unfortunately, just have this reactive, violent anger that comes out that they don't know how to manage. So how much really is that of choice and how much is that of just something that is built into your genetics? I'm not quite sure about that, guys. But then the reversal of that is really in Screech's tale. He wants to be seen. He wants to be seen by the police and the officer. He wants to kind of declare that he owns the street. So again, I'm not quite sure how that fits. What with at one point he doesn't want to be seen and now is in front of law enforcement and he does want to be seen. Yeah, I found that quite puzzling. So let me know what you think in the comments. And to a certain extent as well, that is very, very true of his father, Stevie. Does the silence of Violet make him more aggressive because he feels as though he is not being seen? I don't know, guys. I have no idea. This is definitely food for thought for me, and I've got to think about it a little bit more. Thank you so much for your comment and this explanation. Loved it. Oh, yes, so the big dilemma. People were backwards and forwards. Did Screech, easily slip into the night? Or did he stand out like a sore thumb and did it kind of in a weird way? Was trying, obviously we know he was trying to seek refuge. So at Marty Landry-C6W, Marty, you say you are under streetlights at night and the falling snow melts away into the night, into the darkness. Snow melts into the black night. So yes, I did really like this explanation, and there has been, again, a little bit of backwards and forwards. I really, really enjoy reading because, again, I'm new to this and I love to hear everyone's theories and perspectives on what this means. And I also find it really interesting the fact that the way that he sung the word snow, it was snow. It was almost quickly coming to a stop, but then I kind of took a beat and I was like, oh, he's going to sing more. I was expecting more. Is perhaps the fact that Screechy disappears into the night like snow, into the darkness, but it's only momentarily. Like he's going to get found out. It's not a long-term fix. He's just trying to seek refuge for that moment in time. And another popular fan theory as well, which I was kind of blown away with, was that his mate Patrick, that down at 54, was sleeping with Jenny, or there was some kind of romantic relationship going on. Again, I'm not sure what I really believe here, but I'm just going to continue to read the comments and look into this a little bit more for sure. I need to do Vincent's tale, so there's nothing to give away. I want to do it very, very generically. But yeah, there's a reason Patrick wasn't there, wasn't there? And I don't know if Jenny had something to do with it or not. But I really enjoyed reading all your comments on that and all your thoughts. So this is at Michelle Rubin 5696. Ren is a stickler for details. For example, Ren wears a red jacket for Jenny's tail, blue for Screech's tail. Combined, that makes violet. I don't know if this is true. And again, is it just a renegade theory? I'm not quite sure. But I love this. So I'm going to pretend it's true. Because for the past week, I've also been pretending that the ending of Jenny and Screech being the twins and Violet giving birth to them, I'm just trying to basically be in denial and pretend that it's not true because it's just so tragic. So I really like this, Michelle. Thank you so much. And again, he's not just going to wear a tracksuit for the sake of wearing a tracksuit. He's done it for a reason. So this does make sense to me. So one thing that I did notice at the beginning of Violet's tale, which is just so random, is the fact that Ren had really dirty socks. I just thought it was quite odd. And I kind of wanted to know where he's been. And that could be also my OCD playing into this. So at PatCow9999 says, I'm pretty sure the Dirty Socks are various aborted takes to run through the whole song in one continuous take. I saw an interview rendered where he mentioned how long it took to get the perfect version of the completed song. There was one take Ren mentioned, which they decided not to call the final on, where at the reveal stage, it poured down with rain. If the rest had been fine, Ren said he would have loved the theatre of that ending, which is, wow, yeah, that would have been quite something. Unfortunately, it was just not meant to be at the time, and that's okay too. So I'm so not a renegade. Yeah, I just don't feel worthy of this title, because I totally missed this. And something I should be looking at when it comes to all of Ren's videos is, he likes to do everything really in one fell swoop in a live version, which just it just gives me much more respect for kind of the process of making the video and just him as an artist, because I don't think that's very, very easy to do by any stretch of the imagination. So yes, thank you so much for pointing this out. Another thing too is one of my subscribers, Dr. Brummel, did let me know in his comment, so I just thought I'd mention this, that the bed that he was on in Violet's Tale is actually a child's bed, which, I mean, if foreshadowing was anything to go by, that is pretty spectacular. And I think it was done by accident, just because on the day of the shoot, they only had that bed available. So I just think it really plays into the story. It looks intentional. I don't think it was. But yeah, wow. It just makes it even more sad in the end. So thank you for that, Pat. So this is our last comment, and I appreciate this one so much, but it just broke me. I am Elpinth312. The miracle is that they found their way back to each other. Oh, crushed me. The tragedy is that it was in death. Oh, I have twins, and when they were born, they were placed side by side in the bassinet. Like, oh my God, as if this could not be more heartbreaking. Thank you so much for sharing this perspective. It's something I've not even thought about. And again, you kind of ask why. Like, why did this have to take place? I don't know, guys. It's just really sad, isn't it? Thank you so much for sharing this. Another thing that I just wanted to kind of, circle back to is the Jenny's Tale, and the lyrics are, and I kind of picked up on them at the time. I don't know if you see me in the video. Oh, right, interesting. But obviously I didn't really know where this was going. As Jenny walked home all alone, she felt scared. Usually she was all right, but there was something in the air, a divine intervention telling her to be aware. Is that the twin sense? And that is another popular renegade theory as well, which I love. I really do agree with this. I just feel as though, I don't know if the paths have crossed before, but on that particular night, she felt his presence because of this twin sense. So, yeah. Guys, this was a really tough one. It was rough. But at the end of the day, sometimes we just got to face things. Sometimes we just have to look issues and violence and abuse in the face in order to be able to understand where it comes from and how we can prevent this in the future. And another thing that I've really appreciated of reading your comments is a lot of you have been through certain scenarios that have been depicted within these 3 songs, and you have broken the cycle of generational abuse and violence. And I just, like, my hats are off to you. I think you're extremely brave for being able to come back and watch these types of videos and this type of art with those topics embedded in. And I just think that you're extremely courageous for being able to do that. And I think for everybody that's watching here that has been through something similar, hopefully through Ren's art and through the conversations that it's stoking, you do not feel alone in this. And the hope are these amazing people that have shared the stories with me about how they were able to break the cycles, or the parents broke the cycles. So it gives me hope. It just gives me hope for the future. And, the more we talk about these topics, hopefully, the more it comes to the forefront, and then the more we can do for the future generations to try and help and make sure that we stop the cycle. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for sharing all of your thoughts and comments. Every week it is one of my favourite things to do, is to sit down and read, all of your perspectives and all of your stories. with that, I will be back next week with Nat's Chats, and we will be discussing this amazing blended version that is the Message in a Bottle / Back on 74, which I had a blast with. So in the meantime, take care, and I'll see you soon, guys.